Okay, we're here. Sit back if you can. I don't know what in the hell is going on anymore in this world, but there's some stuff going on around the Packers, and we're here to talk about it. We welcome you in. Hafeman Bros, as always, here for you on a Friday night. No matter, I told you before that it was our job to be here. We wouldn't let you down, no matter what the day, no matter what happened, no matter what's going on. And today has been a total horseshit day, but I'm here. How are you doing, bro?
I'm fine.
It's not that kind of day because of what Aaron Rodgers said and did and everything that's gone on with him this week. Full disclosure before we get into the show, the reason I tell you this is because I want you to understand that yes, even though it's been an emotional day for me, all the things I say tonight, I am saying of clear mind, separate from that. They are not emotionally charged from my experience today. Earlier today, we had to say goodbye to a good friend and our dog of 15 years. So that was rough. But I'm here. So now I get to distract me with all this Packer bullshit. Let's talk about it. Go ahead. You start. That was your cue, Ben. You're supposed to go.
Well, what am I supposed to say after that? What am I supposed to say?
I got this from.
Give me the warning before we went on about that. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Old Sugar Distillery tonight. Something a little stronger for the occasion. That's some Kroger lemonade. Maybe they make it in your neck of the woods. You know, so we went through this as a family today. We had to make a difficult call that we've been kind of avoiding for a while, but we had to do it. And I was talking to my kids afterwards because they had a lot of questions. And you know, I've had dogs in my family most of my life, but I've never had to actually go through this. I've never had to do this because remember our first dogs when we were kids, to change the mood a little bit, Dad got rid of those in a hurry because of various reasons.
Well, the first one was because we didn't know that I was allergic to like everything,
right?
All animals and hay and everything else. And it was like 9 months of me being sick constantly and can't breathe and my asthma attacks. And everybody's like, why is Ben always sick? And what? And finally they took me in and they're like, he's allergic to dogs, especially ones that shed. That's really bad. And of course we had a blonde Cocker Spaniel that shed everywhere. That was our dog for 9 months. And we got rid of it. And then you wanted a dog really bad. So then Mom and Dad got another dog. This time it was a black Cocker Spaniel. I don't know what they were thinking. And we had it for an entire week. And then it peed on Dad's lap. And Dad was like, that's it. Oh, we're out of here. No more dogs.
Don't you remember? So it was sitting on his lap. It peed on his lap. Then he yelled so loud that it jumped off his lap and went and pooped in the corner. And then he said,
I think there were a couple times where Dad yelled and I went and pooped in the corner. So that happens.
Oh God. So that was a short one. And then we got the Buffinator who lived forever. So we were gone at college and didn't have to deal with this stuff. So it was a hard day. It was a hard day. But okay, this is a good distraction for me. I've been focusing on the last hour, focusing on listening to what Aaron Rodgers said. I went yesterday and watched Matt LaFleur's press conference from, the immediate press conference after. I wanted to see Joe Barry's press conference because I wanted to see what the attitude is overall, what was going to come across, in terms of how serious the Packers, when they talk about COVID, what are they going to say about it? Are they going to be like, "Whoa, I just had the sniffles and it wasn't that big of a deal for me"? And
that's what they said.
Yeah, I'm glad, Joe Barry, you just had the sniffles, but millions and millions of people have had a hell of a lot more than the sniffles. So, I don't want to hear you just had the sniffles. Although they did say, look, I know people that are struggled with it and stuff like that. That's fine. I'd like to see people take this crap seriously because it's still floating around and affecting people. And just because you're a freaking athlete or whatever else doesn't mean it ain't going to affect you. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Anyway, so I watched that. And then today I watched the full 47-ish minutes of Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee. And I have to say, I watched that first. And, there are a couple things in there. I was like, okay, I can understand some points. He's good. He's good at taking certain things and just kind of in a laid back way talking about them. So you kind of think, okay, yeah, maybe that makes sense, or maybe it doesn't. But guess what? Most of it didn't make sense. Most of it did not make sense the more and more I listened to it. And luckily for him, he didn't have anybody there to challenge him on anything, really, because it was Pat McAfee.
Well, that's why he goes on there, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
I know. And the other part, but as Mike Florio pointed out, because there are two videos that I watched after watching that, which really were good. And there's probably more. But I just told my wife, I was like, what's happened from this is the sports media. The sports media is doing the job of what the regular media should be doing for something like this. And I know he's a sports figure, but when he was talking today, it wasn't as a sports figure. This was information that was put out into the world, a lot of misinformation, a lot of basically misdirection and things that can be disproven or disproportionately presented in his favor. Like claiming, one of the reasons he didn't want to take the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because, the blood clotting issue, which was 6 women out of millions and millions and millions of people that took the vaccine. But he brought that clotting issue up multiple times as to why, that wasn't an option for him.
But just so I could only stomach about 23, 24 minutes.
I watched all of it.
Once he brought up the Trump, I was done. I shut it off. I'm like, if you're going to bring up Trump, I'm done. And I'm not saying I'm a Trump hater or anything. But once you start bringing up political crap, as you know, I hate political crap on our show. You start bringing up political crap, I'm out. Don't want to hear anything you have to say anymore. And that was where I stopped. So I don't know what happened after that point. So about 23, 4, 5 minutes into it, whatever it was, then I dropped out and didn't listen to anything else. So I don't know what happened after.
I'll tell you. So he brought up some of that stuff, but then in the process talked about how, that's why he stays out of politics and knows politics is a total sham and all this stuff and doesn't get political about things. Look, Balaz, credit to him. Shout out to you, B. He talked about it in the offseason. It was some of the stuff that was going on and everything else. He questions Rodgers' mental health. And I do too. Like what? There are a couple explanations here. One of them is potential mental health issues. Another one that's probably more likely is his arrogance and because one of the things he talked about, oh, I did all this research and I do blah, 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 and looked at all the India research from India. That's one of the things, like all these points that he made. And I'm not going to tell you, whatever, but all of these points he made were like playbook points from Will Cain on Fox News. Okay. Will Cain used to be on ESPN then, but he was always heavy, right wing guy. You knew it. So he got on Fox News. He has his own show on Fox News. Now, Will Cain sounds really intelligent the way he presents stuff. But these are all like talking points that are pushed on Fox News. Okay, number one. Now, and then Roger said, I would never go on Fox News. I'd never go on CNN. I stay away from all that stuff. I don't have any desire for it. Well, you just basically took Fox News's playbook and put it out on Pat McAfee, dude. And not only that, so many things misrepresented, like I said. He claims he has an allergy to the mRNA vaccines. Now, no one knows, right? We can't know that. I'm sure he's got some doctor that says he does have the allergy. But
dude, I had allergies for 9 months with our dog and nobody knew. So
what does that allergy? What? So okay, you're. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but it's just that whole thing was so disturbing after I went back and thought about it. Okay, what does the allergy do? What is the potential allergic reaction? Right? Is that worse than?
Is it worse than COVID?
I would assume not. Is it worse than the benefits of what the mRNA vaccine would do? And also how much more easy that would make your life as an NFL player and make you available to your team, which is, again, the crux of everything. The issue I had before this interview wasn't all the crazy stuff he said and all the misinformation he gave. The issue I had before watching that was really being responsible and being a multi-million dollar, the biggest key asset to a multi-million billion dollar organization and business, following the rules of that business and making sure you are available if at all possible, doing everything you can to make sure that you are available for this business.
Jason.
And
Rodgers spent the entire offseason complaining that he was not part of the team. And if the team wanted to be all in, and if the team wanted to be as the best team it can possibly be, wouldn't it want its 17 or whatever how many years he's been in the league veteran quarterback's opinion on things so that they can do their job to the best of their ability? Well, for the team to be at its top performance, don't you think it would need its highest paid, most important player to be available as much as possible without being injured? I would think so. And as much as he said it was a witch hunt, and it is somewhat like that. Well, it's
ultimate.
Like that.
Good comment from a new commenter. Ultimate Evie in here. Very good comment. The thing that's most upsetting is that he's unvaccinated, but did not follow the NFL rules of an unvaccinated player, which put his team at risk. And that is, it's crap.
Well, that's the thing. And you said it was Balaz's comment. No. You're wrong.
I'm wrong? Oh, okay.
It's been my comment since we started this show. Aaron Rodgers is the definition of a diva baby. Period. His only concern is himself. When he said the people, I said it meant the Rodgers. And that's exactly what it meant. And when it comes to this situation, it's the Rodgers, and the Rodgers. It's not the Packers. Never was, never has been, never will be. Because he is a selfish diva baby who does not think about others, only thinks of himself. And I, for one, have had enough. I don't know if I can do this show anymore if Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of my team. And it's up to you if you want to keep going. I'm looking forward to this week so much. This next game is probably the biggest game to me since the Super Bowl that Aaron Rodgers played in back when I used to like him. Because I'm looking for a team to come together and try to win a game. And I don't know if they can. I don't know what Jordan Love can do. I have no idea. But I would rather take my chances with a second-year guy who hasn't played football in a meaningful game in over 2 years than go with a diva baby who doesn't give two craps about anything but himself.
You'd even take Blake Bortles. You'd even take Blake Bortles, right?
I don't know if I'd take Blake Bortles.
Come on, I'd take Blake Bortles. I'll take it. He's back in town.
I've been right about this guy for 3 years, and I want you on this show live right now. The guy who loves Aaron Rodgers more than his own brother.
That's never been true.
Last
That's
2.5 years.
That has never
Anybody
been
who
true.
watches this show knows you have defended this man.
I will say that. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Until the end of
I'll tell you all
time.
about it.
Even against me, accusing me of being a jerk, accusing me of being a hater, and all this other stuff, and not being honest with it. I just saw it with my own eyes. You, my friend, had Roger goggles on. Now you see the true man from his actions, from his words today. The fact that the man is not wearing the mask, and he even said in this thing today,
that's the thing.
What's the big hairy deal?
That's the thing.
But
that's
it's like,
it.
You can't get away. The biggest problem. One more thing, real quick.
Yeah.
It's because the Packers don't have an owner. Aaron Rodgers is the highest paid employee of the Green Bay Packers. True. He runs the show, dude. And he held them hostage, just like Brett Favre. The difference was Brett Favre would hold you hostage of, am I coming back or am I not coming back? Am I coming back or am I not coming back? Which is one thing. Rodgers is holding him hostage where he's like, well, I'm not coming back. Unless you guys just let me do whatever the crap I want, then I'll come back. You have to let me not wear masks, even though I'm supposed to. You have to let me not do this, even though I'm supposed to. And I know in his interview with McAfee, he said that he wears masks in the facility. He says he has to work out over by himself. He says he has to wear some yellow wristband to show everybody that he's, not vaccinated.
That's the thing.
He said all of his teammates knew what he was and what he was all about. And that's fine. If all that happened, that's great. But he wanted it both ways. He wanted to have to follow the protocols in the building, but have the perception be that he was vaccinated, because he did not want to have to take any of this media on. And now it's just exploded into a giant hairy ball right in his face with all this crap going on. Because he was not honest from the beginning.
Right.
If he would have been honest from the beginning and said, hey, I've studied for 2 months, done all this stuff. I'm looking to try to get the NFL to see that my research shows that this is just as good, and just blah, blah, blah. And then, and people will be like, well, what are you talking about this research? And then maybe they get into it. Maybe it could help some people. But instead, he kept his mouth shut. He wanted he implied the way he talked as if he had the vaccine and that everything was cool. And he just wanted to float under the radar and have everything be cool.
Yeah.
And the NFL let him do it, and the Packers let him do it. And it's a bunch of crap. I am sick of it. I am done with this man. I've been done with him for a long time, but now I'm really, really, really done. I don't care how freaking good you are.
Yep.
My favorite guy on this team is this guy. This is the Aaron. This is the real Aaron. This is the real leader right here. This guy. Who lost his dad to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think he feels? And in his interview, he tried to be positive, and then right at the very end, he kind of let it slip a little bit. he's like, I had COVID. He's like, I lost my dad to COVID. And he kind of, because he was pretty positive during his interview on Wednesday. And he's the one who had to answer for Aaron Rodgers. Not Aaron Rodgers. He's not getting grilled by the press. And Matt LaFleur sure has had enough. You can tell from his interviews. He's like, I'm done with this crap. I don't want to hear any more crap about Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about the Chiefs and Jordan Love and this team that we have right now trying to make it work. Okay, back to you.
We'll get on to that, and we will get on to the game coming up because I think it's interesting to talk about that, and I'm excited to actually talk about that other than this crap. But we have to finish, or we have to cover a couple other things. Now, you wanted to hear what I was going to say? Look, this is.
I was right. I've been right for 2.5 years. Tell me the truth.
Here was my epiphany. Now, it happened in the shower, which is kind of weird, but it happened in the shower. My epiphany was that Aaron Rodgers is a very weak-minded person. That's what this has shown. That's what the last several years have shown. And actually, not just years, specifically its relationships have shown. He is drastically affected by the person he is with, currently dating. Okay. And here's no. And that just shows how weak-minded he is. Because look, remember how tight he was with his family? Remember how like his family was there with him draft day, sat through all that crap, did all this stuff, was supportive when they won the Super Bowl. His family was there, all of that. Then all of a sudden, he breaks off with his family. Why? Because he was with Olivia Munn at the time. There was rumored to be his family didn't like her. She didn't like them or whatever the hell it was. And he sided with her and went along. And she maybe shaped some of his perception of his family. I don't know. We don't know the story there. But what we do know is he took his family who had been with him this whole time and cast them aside for Olivia Munn. Then they break up. He doesn't repair with his family because he holds grudges. Then he starts dating Danica Patrick. Well, Danica Patrick, he started acting a lot like Danica Patrick, which I don't know what your perception of Danica Patrick is, but Danica Patrick to me is kind of a little itchy and kind of not so nice and very much about herself and all this sort of stuff. Now, some of that was clearly there with him already, but it was enhanced by his relationship. And that's part of him. And then, like, look at all last year. All last year, he wears the mask everywhere. He's wearing the mask, doing this thing. Okay, fine. Why does he have a problem with it now? It's his perception. What's different? A different girl. And we know about her. She eats clay. She does other weird stuff. You can clearly say that she was probably likely a person to be like an anti-vaxxer, right? Did that influence him enough to come up with reasons not to take the vaccine? Even though it would have clearly made his life so much easier. I mean, he talked about it, having to test every single day as an unvaccinated person. Get up at 5 a.m. for noon games to test. Do all this stuff every single day, right? Because you're an unvaccinated player. Supposed to wear your mask in front of the media when you're an unvaccinated player. Other guys do it.
And after the game, when you're talking to Kyler Murray right in his face?
Yes. But so because of the way it would make him look, he's not going to do it. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. No, at all.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's not okay. Not okay. And I'm done with him as a Packer. I don't want him on the Packers anymore. I don't care. I want him off the team. Because the other thing he displayed today, and this is probably my hottest take, but it is straight up true. Aaron Rodgers is the new Donald Trump. He does exactly what Trump does. Tells a bunch of lies now and talks so goddamn long that you forget half the stuff he said, so you can't even keep up with all the lies. But that's what he freaking did on Pat McAfee. And he doesn't respect the journalists trying to do their jobs when they try to ask him a question because he doesn't like to be interrupted. like he did to McAfee a couple times. Remember, he had his prepared statement. Oh, wait, just let me finish this. No, I have a question to what you just said. Take the damn question. Don't tell me, oh, let me finish my 10 more minutes. And then you could go back and ask about something I said 5 or 10 minutes ago. No, you just said something that deserves a question. Take the freaking question and get the hell off my team. No more Aaron Rodgers on the Packers for me. No. Now, I will still love the Packers because I'm a Packers fan. And you know my guy number 62 gets to play now. So hell yeah, I'm excited about this team. And they're going to run the ball.
He's excited about Jordan Love.
That's right. And you know what pisses me off the most about all this is that I wanted to do a show Tuesday, which you weren't up for, and that's fine. But I want to do a show Tuesday because guess who? I'm bringing back to some good stuff. Guess who got to talk to the media again on Monday? Lucas Patrick. Guess who's figuring out how cool Lucas Patrick is? Everybody. And the Green Bay media, who's like, yeah, I like it when he gets to talk to us because he says interesting stuff and he tells us some stories and he's a cool guy and he's got this great story. Hell yeah, he does. And now he gets to freaking play. So yes, I'm going to support Lucas Patrick and I'm going to love the Packers, but I don't want Rodgers on my team. Get his ass off the team. Done. Donald Trump 2.0. Get the hell out of here. Done.
Okay, now ho.
Done.
You're making this all political now. I hate that. I don't want to make it political.
But I'm not making it political. I'm saying that's exactly how he's acting.
Okay, you're getting crazy. You're starting to talk crazy.
Truth.
You're saying that Aaron Rodgers' girlfriends are making him act the way he is.
I'm not saying that.
You're comparing him to a egomaniac crazy man who has failed in life more often than anybody.
He's weak-minded. He portrays like he's so smart, but he's very weak-minded.
I don't think he's weak-minded. What he is he's the one guy in the world who always says that he doesn't listen to what anybody has to say, and he never cares about what anybody has to say, but he really does. Like, he is constantly worried about what people are saying and thinking about him.
His perception caused this.
All those things. He's always worried about it. He always has been, ever since the beginning. And that's the big difference. And if he can't tell you the truth about this stuff, yeah, like double doinks, like Trump and Biden, they're both, I mean, politicians are politicians. So
he points out Cousins is unvaccinated, but has been open about it and taking the heat for it.
Right. And that's the thing. He watched those. He even said it. He said it in McAfee today. He said, I watched a couple guys who were open about it, took the heat. He's like, I don't want to take the heat. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. That's what the people say. That's what he wanted to do.
But here's the one last thing I'll say about what it is. The biggest problem with him, and this has probably been the whole time. And it's part of what allowed him to be great for such a long time because of the chip on his shoulder that he carries. But his perception of everything that happens is just, it's off. It's not reality. His perception is altered, always thinking there's someone trying to angle to take him down or to bring him down or to put him down. And that's the way he talked about the rules, why he didn't like some of the rules or didn't want to abide by some of the rules. I thought the rules didn't make sense to him. And we know he questions stuff and likes information, but he knew that those rules, of, okay, if you're considered an unvaccinated player, you got to wear a mask when you're doing press conferences. Well, people would question that. People would talk about that if he's wearing a mask, right? And a bunch of people, other people don't have to. He could have opted out and just done video press conferences like Alan Lazard, right? Who was also unvaccinated. Guy from Iowa, unvaccinated, fine. But
and Devondre Campbell, but Gary Gray is wearing a mask every single press conference all year long because he's not vaccinated, and that's fine.
So just wear the mask. Just wear the mask. But he didn't want that. And then he said the NFL rules weren't based in science. They're just to shame players. That was his perception of the NFL rules, to shame people into getting the vaccine, which is not accurate. The science is there. Mask wearing is effective if everybody's doing it. If not everybody's doing it, Aaron, then it's not effective, you dumbass.
Well, that's what he's saying,
when you question, I'm in a room of all vaccinated people, and I tested negative in the day, earlier in the day. So why do I have to wear a mask? Well, because you take that extra step to protect other people, dude, especially when you're on a football team and you got to work in those close quarters with everybody. That's the step you take for making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Come on.
Okay.
Dumb.
He is correct in this. When a vaccinated player only has to get tested once every 2 weeks and doesn't have to wear a mask and can do all the stuff, right. They can still get COVID, and they can still, pass COVID on to other people. So he is correct in the fact that the people that are unvaccinated that have to go through all the special extra stuff, and the people that are vaccinated don't, they still can get it, and they can still, whatever I'm trying to say, give it out to somebody else. Same as somebody who isn't vaccinated. So it is dumb that the unvaccinated players have to go through all this crap and the vaccinated ones don't. When they don't get tested once every 2 weeks, they could have it for a whole 2 weeks, not even know they even ever had it. So he is correct there, and I agree with him there. I think either everybody should be wearing a mask and they should all be doing that crap, or nobody should, and that's fine. But it hurts your team. In my opinion, everybody should be wearing a mask. Everybody should be away from. I have to go to work, okay, and and he was talking about breathing in too much carbon monoxide, or
come on,
whatever,
dude.
Because you're wearing a mask when you're working out. Well, you know what? I work overnights now. I freaking climb up ladders, lift heavy crap, run around like a crazy person, sweat my balls off, and I got to wear a damn mask all night freaking long, Aaron Rodgers. But I'm not a big baby. You think I hate it? Yes. You think it sucks? Yes. You think I grew this white beard because I wear a mask and I don't give a crap and I work overnights? Yes. But all that has to equal one thing. I do it because my job requires me to do it. Kirk Cousins, as Sarah, our sister, is mentioning, Kirk Cousins follows all the protocols, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing that bothers me out of all this stuff. I agree with some of the things Rodgers said. I think he's an idiot. I don't like him, but I agree with him. But the thing I don't agree with is the fact that he, as a diva baby, thinks he can get away with crap and do whatever the hell he wants.
Well, he thinks
Packers let him do whatever the hell he wants.
But he also thinks he's smarter. He thinks he's smarter than doctors. He does. You have not gone to medical school. You are not
He hasn't even finished college.
You're not that's true. You're not an epidemiologist. You're not an virologist, whatever the hell Rick said. Listen. You're not even Rick. Rick knows a hell of a lot more than you about science, Aaron Rodgers. So great. You can do a bunch of research, but you're not the smartest guy when it comes to viruses and how to stop them. So wear your freaking mask, follow the protocols. Don't think all the protocols are trying to shame you. They're trying to protect everybody, you dumb ass. How can a guy be so smart and so dumb? That's what I'm pissed about, too.
Well, all I know is this. He only went to college for 3 years, and one of those years was a junior college. I went to college for 9 years. That's 3 times. So I'm 3 times as smart as Aaron Rodgers. Think about that.
All right,
and I didn't graduate either. So I'm just as smart. I'm 3 times as smart as Aaron Rodgers. You didn't graduate. I didn't graduate. I went to college for 9 years. He only went for 3. And one of them was a junior college. So I'm way smarter than him.
In junior college where they weren't worried about what he was doing academically because he was playing football. So, okay. All right. Right. In regular college. All right. A lot of great comments. Thanks for all that double doink. AR is weird, but let's win a Super Bowl this year, please. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe we can do it. And maybe we can do it with him, not on the team. I'm just saying, for me personally now, and you guys have all known, anybody that's watched the show, anybody that's seen me, Ben talked about how I love Aaron Rodgers more than him. No, which isn't true. But I have given him the benefit of the doubt. I have defended him. I have stuck by him through a bunch of stuff that's been questionable. And this is the last straw for me. Like, this is just because this is about not respecting the people you're around. And this is about, which I'm all about. Like, I do every damn thing I can. I'm vaccinated and I wear a mask all the time because, and we have a mask mandate where I live indoors right now through November 27th. And we've had it for quite some time, but I'll wear a mask anyway, because I want to do everything I can to try to protect other people around me. It's not about me. It's about the good of the whole. It's about the good of society. It's about, if I'm on a team, it's about protecting everybody else and doing, and maybe there's still things that can happen, but if I know I did everything I can, I'll be okay with that. If I know I dress up like John Wick and go to a Halloween party and don't wear a mask, even though I'm an unvaccinated person, I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. So that's the part that bugs me about the person. Then you talk about all this other stuff. Come on. I'm just done. I'm just done. And as long as we got some of the guys we got, and the Packers have talked so much about character and leadership, this is not leadership. Okay. That's the other part. This guy is supposed to be a leader of the team. This is not leading anybody. What do you think all those other players, and I know he said everyone knew my status and everyone knew my situation. Okay, great. But that's still not leadership, dude. And your reasons for not taking a vaccine or even considering it are bogus. They've been proven bogus. I'm going to put some things in the chat. I'll also, you should check out Young Turks. They do a good thing on it. But Mike Florio had a good follow-up. Rich Eisen had a really good follow-up too. And you know Rich Eisen, if you've watched him at all, he was vaccinated, got a breakthrough case, dealt with COVID, talked about it after he came back. One thing, if you watch Rich Eisen as well, if you've noticed, since he's been back, cognitively, he's not quite the same, right? I mean, he has more issues finding words at times. He gets tripped up and he sounds more like Ben and me sometimes, where he can't find the word he wants to say. And that he was smoother before he had COVID. So this stuff can affect you in a lot of ways. So anyway, be safe, be well. Aaron Rodgers, I'm really disappointed in you, and I don't want you on my team anymore. Okay, let's see. Love's press conference. Ben, Sarah's wondering about that. Did you watch it? I didn't watch that one.
I watched some of it. It was pretty boring. It was just him saying,
I mean, he's a young guy. He's going to say nothing. He's going to just be safe and say like, I'm going to be about the team and do what I got to do and blah, blah, blah.
Well, he's wearing a mask and everybody's like, why are you wearing a mask? And he's like, well, because I have to wear a mask now because all the quarterbacks in my room with me had COVID. So I have to wear the mask, even though I'm testing negative all week and I am vaccinated, but I'm wearing the mask just to make sure everybody around me is safe, just in case I would have it.
I like that.
Leadership.
I like that.
Leadership. That's what he said.
Yep.
The other thing is Luke Getsy wore a mask this week, and so did Nathaniel Hackett. Now, I don't know if they have to do it because they were also in the quarterback room a lot, because every other interview, press conference that they've done throughout the whole year, they have not worn a mask. So I'm assuming that it's because of the whole protocols of having been in that room with those two quarterbacks that got COVID, and Kirk Bankert and Rodgers. But maybe they didn't follow the protocols too, and all of a sudden now they are. I don't think that's it. Because Jerry Gray, every time, always has a mask. So, and so is Devondre Campbell. Whenever he did do press conferences in that room, he did wear a mask. And then they switched him to Zoom so he didn't have to wear the mask. And then, like, a couple other guys here and there, that don't have the mask or that do the Zoom calls.
Can I just say about Devondre Campbell too? He's got like one of those super full beards where like hair grows on every inch of his face, like every piece of his face. It's like beard. It's just hair everywhere. It's kind of crazy, man. So you put a mask on all that, like think about how muffled that would be. So it's good. Put him in a Zoom room and let him talk to people from a distance. It's fine. Okay. I am done. I just told you I'm done with Aaron Rodgers on my team. I'm done talking about him too. I don't have anything else to say. There's probably some stuff I could say, but I can't think of it right now. And I just refilled my vodka sour. And so I'm ready to talk about this Packers team playing the Chiefs this Sunday, which was supposed to be this great big game where it was going to be Rodgers and Mahomes in the field for the first time, because last time the Packers played the Chiefs, it was Matt Moore, which wasn't as exciting, right? Well, this time there's no Rodgers, but it's Jordan Love and it's Pat Mahomes, and it's this Packers team that's going to run the hell out of the ball, and I'm really excited for it. What do you think, Ben?
This is what I've been asking for.
You want to go back like 2 decades and just be ground and pound, and this team set up for it.
When you have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, yes. I mean, that's what I've been asking for all year. I wanted Rodgers to stay away. I wanted him to just retire. I said that back in February, January. And this is exactly what I wanted. Now, we'll see what happens. We need Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love throws a good ball. I think it's the decision making. I mean, he had 2 dumb throw it up in the end zone when they're in the red zone, interception and almost interception in the preseason this year. You can't do that crap, that's for sure. And we'll see if LaFleur can call a good game to help him out. We'll see what it looks like if LaFleur calls a good game and Love runs the play the way it's supposed to be run. And if the Packers go out there and score 30-some points with Jordan Love as a quarterback, we'll know the issue is when they have, how many times we watch games over the last couple years and the Packers kind of have like that stall where they just stall out for like a drive or two because it's pass, and just dumb decisions and stupid crap, and they're like making mistakes and they're not running the offense. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on Sunday. Whether LaFleur can call a good game, whether the running game can kick up and do some good things. Now, if the Chiefs come down and try to shut the running game down, Jordan Love's got to step up because there'll be guys that'll be open, especially if the Chiefs commit to the run. I'm thinking this is going to be a very big Josiah DeGuara game. I think he's going to sneak attack, do some sneak attack screens. The weakness of the Chiefs is for sure their inside linebackers. So they need to attack the inside linebackers with Aaron Jones in the passing game a little bit. And I think DeGuara could be a key addition or Daphne, running some sneak attack screens and plays to the tight end and take advantage of those linebackers' weaknesses. That's what I want to see. And if LaFleur can call those plays and do those things, and then the defense could keep stepping up and playing great, I think this is a team that can do things, and it'll be very, very telling because all we've heard for the last 10 years, and all I've heard as a Packer fan is Aaron Rodgers is doing it by himself. Even on Thursday night last week, when Aaron Rodgers had barely over 5 yards per attempt, everybody said Aaron Rodgers played a great game. He had a good game.
Yeah, he was good.
But it was the running game that set that crap up. It was AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones breaking tackles, making plays, extending drives that set up that freaking win. And then also a great miracle play.
Lucas Patrick making good blocks.
Well, Lukey Patrick had a really bad decision block on the first Randall Cobb touchdown that almost had Aaron Rodgers knocked out for the rest of his career. But
he's trying to do that. He's trying to do that to help you out.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm starting. Did you see? There's another thing. Lucas Patrick was talking about. I don't know if this is just interview on Monday or what it was. But he's talking about.
He's so awesome.
And
I freaking love
withdrawals and doing deposits and withdrawals. And I think he was talking about Aaron Rodgers yelling at him or somebody yelling at him.
Yeah. Well, like, Jason Wilde asked him some questions. Wilde likes to ask more in-depth, kind of off the side questions, and he asked Lucas Patrick about getting barked at by Rodgers because Myers, Josh Myers, who was the starting center and should not be again until Lucas Patrick is off the team. By the way, just side note. But he asked them, how Josh dealt with some of that when Aaron would correct him. And then he kind of explained. He's like, well, hey, I kind of look at it like a bank account. I know these guys. I know certain guys. You build up a lot of trust with me and deposits and things we do. And then so some of those withdrawals where you got to hammer out or you got to get the message across or whatever, like I give you a little more leeway because you built up this bank account with me, this friendship with me. And then he kind of discredited himself. They asked him, they thought it was a good analogy. It was better than that, the way I explained it. But you should watch every Lucas Patrick interview or press conference, by the way. If you don't, I mean, you really should, because he's awesome. But he said, he tried to discredit and say, I'm not smart enough to come up with that. My mom must have come up with it or something like that or whatever. But anyway, LP is an awesome dude. He should be a starting center for this team. He's really good in the run game, smart in the pass game. We all know the weak link, the weakest link on the offensive line is Royce Newman. And hopefully Bakhtiari comes back this week and Jenkins slides in. LP at center. Runyon goes over to right guard. Royce Newman heads his ass to the bench. And Billy Turner was doing okay last week. So maybe he can keep it up.
Well, that's the thing is LaFleur said today he is not because they asked him about the status of Bakhtiari and Devontae Adams. And he's like, well, you'll find out on Sunday morning.
Ooh, Sunday morning.
So who knows what's going to happen here. But if Bakhtiari is back, I like our chances even better. As long as it's Runyon Bunyan staying in and some kind of combination of him and Jenkins at the two guards. I don't know what they're going to do there, but Royce Newman out the door for this particular, for the foreseeable future.
I mean, come on. We've shown enough. The coaches have to see it that he's just, and especially when you're going to look at this team needing to run the ball more, Royce Newman is not good at run blocking, especially at a guard spot. So get him out, put him on the bench, let him develop. That's fine. You want to start him next year? Okay. But this season, if you want to attack the season, put Royce Newman's ass on the bench and put the best guys in there, best five. And Lucas, we told you, man, like, I don't know how many times I got to say it. He's a smart guy. He knows what's going on. He knows the checks, and he's really good at help blocking or double team blocking. Showed you a great play last week where he started out on a double team, then switched to a different double team because that guy was getting beat. Was that a design play by him? Probably not. Or by the offensive line? Probably not. It was probably just an instinctual play by a guy who's really freaking good and smart. Does he kick everybody's butt all the time? No. Is he the most athletic, the biggest? No. Is he the smartest? Probably. Anyway, and he's my favorite because he's awesome. So, okay. Another thing about this game coming up, Ben, is Patty Mahomes likes to throw picks this year, and he's been getting pressure and he likes to toss it up. And the Packers have been getting some picks, so that's a good sign too, right? Maybe we can get some turnovers. Like everybody's freaking out, thinking Rodgers is out of this game. Oh my God, we're screwed. No. Come on, we got a formula: run the ball, possess the ball, like last week. And the second part of that is try to force some turnovers, which the Chiefs have been giving away on defense. And you put those two together, and the Packers can get a W easily in this game.
Well, it's interesting. The player, I don't know if it was Andy Herman's grades or if it was PFF's grades, that the second highest grade on defense in this last game against Cardinals was Merciless, who I don't remember him doing much, but apparently he must have got some pressure and did some good things and held up well against the run, or I don't know. But when he was in there, apparently he had a very good game. And we all know Douglas, of course, was top notch. We went over that on Friday night, showed you a bunch of video about him just being awesome at tackling and covering and attacking and covering up two guys and then freaking snuffing out a wide receiver screen when nobody would come over and help him and all kinds of crazy. And then, of course, the big pick at the end. And
that was a great show. That was a great show, by the way. I know not a lot of people watched it right away, but it kind of caught on a little bit. But that was a great freaking show. Completely opposite of this show. We're showing you zero videos and it's just all us talking. But
Well, I wanted to, but after all this Rodgers crap, I
I
wanted to go
know.
over some running
Freaking
game. I wanted to show some
Aaron
Luke
Rodgers
Patrick and
is
some AJ
screwing us up
Dillon and
here.
Aaron Jones, and
Aaron Rodgers is
but
screwing us up here. We got to get. That's why I'm saying just shuffle him off out of town, and then we'll move on.
I
That's
just
good.
can't get over you saying this right now.
I'm telling you, dude. When he went
You
and
have
said
been
some of
talking.
this,
You have been talking this guy,
yes,
loving up this guy.
but he crossed
I
a
about this
line.
for 3 years.
Crossed the line. Didn't show others respect. Didn't take the steps to respect others. To even go that, like, I don't care. I don't care if you think you had some homeopathic immunization strategy done to your body. Fantastic for you. Take every damn precaution that you can to protect other people, and especially in that work environment. And on top of it, follow the damn rules. Come on. I'm sorry, dude. But guess what, Aaron Rodgers? You think you're so awesome. You think you're so smart. But you only make all this money because you're in the NFL. If you're not in the NFL, if you're in the CFL or some other league, you don't make nearly this amount of money. So understand that your players union agreed to all of these rules. Abide by the rules. That's it. Done. If you can't do that, if you think you're too smart for the rules, get the hell out. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just floored.
And it pisses me off. Pisses me off too because
it would come
my guy
to,
Lucas
to,
Patrick
to
touches the
realize
ball.
this.
My guy Lucas Patrick touches the ball on every play. The same ball you touch every play. You infect my guy Lucas Patrick. I'm coming for you, Aaron Rodgers. I am coming for you. God.
It is weird that you would think that more players would be getting it from playing a game with somebody. They're all touching the nasty ball together all the time, unless they sanitize it after the play.
They're not all Drew Brees and like lick their fingers every play though. Like that's the grossest. Like, oh, lick your fingers all the time. Like, well, come on, stop it. Gross. Anyway, LP's awesome. He should be protected at all times.
Well, what about this? Like Double Doink is saying, "Hey, let's just win a Super Bowl." What if the Packers win a Super Bowl and Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback, Chase? How are you going to feel about that?
Look, here's the deal. Aaron Rodgers had a chance, and I know Double Doink says, let's get positive, enjoy love's chance to show us up. And I want to talk about that. I'll just say this. Aaron Rodgers had an opportunity. Okay. He had an opportunity to come out and say, look, I tried this alternative method. I'm sorry that I maybe misled people, but instead all he did was try to deflect and defend himself. And that's crap. And that's the bad part. Now we're moving on from him. Like I said, done. I want to see, like you've been saying for a while, Ben, how this offense runs. Let's talk about this. Is Jordan Love as talented as Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of years ago,
he's got a better arm. He's more athletic,
mm-hmm.
and he can make every throw. It comes down, like I said earlier, it comes down to decision making,
right?
Doing a boneheaded dumb move.
But remember, a couple of years ago when the Rams had the highest flying offense and all that stuff, what was it? Todd Gurley was a monster. Run first, play action pass. Jared Goff looks good. So we have a run first offense now. Play action pass. Jordan Love should be able to succeed. It's not necessarily about decision making off of play action because most of those should be an obvious choice. Should be pretty easy for the quarterback to decipher, figure out where to throw the ball, deliver the ball on time. So I think it can be done. I really do. I think I want to see a commitment to the run. I want to see sticking with the play. And that's one thing that bothers me about Rodgers and stuff. Sometimes I think they overthink it. They're so concerned about trying to like, oh, the defense is doing this, so we got to adjust and blah, 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 and try to give ourselves the upper hand. Remember how Favre I'm not a Favre fan. How many times have we said this? That we're not really Favre guys. We never were. But Favre would always say, Holmgren would call on a play, and Favre would just say, pick one. I'll run it. Pick one. So Favre didn't want to think about anything, right? Leading up to the snap. Just like, pick a play. I'll run it, whatever the hell the play is. Sometimes, as smart as Aaron Rodgers is, as much information as he can decipher at the line, this team overthinks it. And we saw it last week in the red zone. Overthinking it. You're 1 foot away. Get your 247-pound back in there and just hand it off and plow ahead and get the freaking touchdown. Don't give me play action and this other crap and whatever else is going on. So,
well, the other thing that I would really like to see is some up-tempo stuff. How about if we get out of the huddle, get right up to the freaking ball, right up to the line of scrimmage, and just snap it and go? With Aaron Rodgers, because he loves to look at the defense and see what their formation is and try to figure out what they're in and figure out what the best play to switch it to is and blah, blah, blah with all that. We're always running the play clock down to freaking 1 second, 0 seconds sometimes. Like Matt LaFleur had to call a timeout last game because Rodgers wasn't watching the play clock all the way. How many times we got to waste timeouts because we're running the play clock down? Well, let's see what happens if Jordan Love's in there. Hopefully he can spit the words out, spit the play out, come out of the huddle, get lined up, run the play. How many times we watch the Packers on defense? They're not quite talking to each other yet. Then the ball snapped and they're all like, oh, and they're snap 1 second behind. That's all you need. Catch the defense 1 second behind and boom. Boom. We got to play here. We could have a guy open who maybe can't get open otherwise. But when you just sit there and you wait until 1 second on the play clock and let the defense get it ready to go and everybody knows what's going on and they're watching you and they're all ready to go, that doesn't help you half the time.
No, I agree
much
too.
as Rodgers thinks it does. The other thing I would love to see is more bunch formations and less zero empty backfields, hopefully, way less of those. And if you're going to take some shots, let's do some max protection and play action shots and stuff like that. And I think we can do all those things with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur because Jordan Love won't be trying to read what the defense is doing for 25 seconds before he snaps it. Won't be trying to outsmart the other team. Just run the damn play. If option 1 is covered, go to option 2. If he's covered, go to option 3. If he's covered, check it down. That's what people said he was doing in the preseason in practices, right? And they were like, oh, he checks down a lot. He checks down a lot. Well, you know what? You check down to Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon, they're probably going to break a tackle or two, just like they did the other night when they were running the ball. But Rodgers don't like to check down until the very last second. And then they usually get creamed right away because he waited too goddamn long to check the ball down. Where Love should go read, check down if they're all covered.
Hey, Tom
So
Brady.
I'm excited to see this.
Tom Brady checked down to the tune of like a number of Super Bowl, like 3 Super Bowls. 3 of his Super Bowls were basically check down Super Bowls. I mean, James White should have been the MVP of that friggin' one Super Bowl against Atlanta. But
and even the one when Julian Edelman was the MVP. Those aren't checkdowns, but those were. I mean, he just waited till Julian Edelman got open and just threw it to him. Like it wasn't even a play. It was just like, where's your guy lined up on me? He's lined on the inside. Okay, I'm going to juke him and then go to the outside, and then Tom Brady just throw it to him for a 5-yard gain.
So let's be serious for a second here too about Love's chances.
I am serious.
No, I understand, but like Love's chances hinge on the Packers. Like obviously making it play action will give him more time, will make the reads easier because in general, play action, you don't have as many guys out in the pass pattern and stuff like that. And it's more clear. But the other part with him is going to be making sure that the Packers, don't get in long down in distances where they got to do, like obvious pass situations. So how do you do that, right? You run the ball, you stay out of penalties. Holding is one of the most frustrating and annoying goddamn penalties of all time, right? Because it's like, It's like 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So sometimes that spot happens behind the line of scrimmage, 10 yards off of that, and then you got to start over. And then are you going to run it on 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20? Probably not. So then you're in an obvious pass situation. Holding is one of the worst. So no holding in this game. Absolutely no holding. Even though Bakhtiari does it every play if he's in there, Mo says. So Packers got to stay out of penalty trouble. They got to stay kind of productive on first downs, and they got to make easy reads for Love, especially in his first time there. It is a road game too. Like starting your first game at home is very different than starting your first game on the road. Kansas City can be loud. That can be a difficult place to communicate. Again, another key point as to why I'm sorry, but my guy LP at center, the experience and all that is a good thing rather than a rookie center starting down there in Arrowhead.
Man, I had something important to say, and then I forgot it because you kept rambling on like,
yeah, screwed you up.
Dang it. You said something that actually made sense, and then I was going to add something to it. But then you just kept going. You wouldn't let me get my 2 cents in, just like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking about
How do you feel about all the times when you would say that you and Aaron Rodgers are so much alike?
Well, clearly.
You used to say it a lot.
Clearly, we are not. We are not. Because I do every damn thing I can to protect everybody else around me against this virus, and he does not, which is disappointing. That's not leadership, bro. Anyway, what do you got? Did you think of it yet?
It was something important about Jordan Love. God,
probably wasn't that important. All right, Jordan Love. Jordan Love.
Oh, it was important.
He's starting his first game. He's double doink. Is excited about his mobility. He turned the ball over a lot.
Which is weird because I don't think he really ran that much.
No, but he's good. Like in this offense, that's another reason why they drafted him, right? Because in this offense, there's a lot of rollouts, a lot of boots, a lot of throwing on the run, and this offense trains on that. Love has the ability to do it. I don't know how good Blake Bortles is on the run, but was signed because of the Bankert thing and only one quarterback on the roster at this point. They talked to LaFleur like earlier in the week. Well, is Randall Cobb an option? I guess everybody's a freaking option in emergency situations, but you want to have 2 quarterbacks at least going into the game. So Bortles is there. So Sarah, sorry, maybe you should pick him up in fantasy. Maybe he gets in there. I don't know. Hopefully not. But the Packers, it's clear they got to run the heck out of the ball. What does the defense do, Ben? What does the defense learn? Did Joe Barry learn anything from sitting on his basement watching the game last week? Because I'm going to ask you, I want you to answer that question, but I also have a weird, concerning observation. So they asked Joe Barry, and I told you I watched his press conference, at least some of it. They asked him about what was it like watching the game from home? And he was like, oh, yeah, we're just watching that last drive and thinking, oh, my God, are they going to do this? Are they going to drive the field and score on us? And like, if I was a defensive coordinator, I would have been thinking about what could I have done differently to stop the other team during that drive, not be sitting there thinking, oh, my God, are they going to do this to us? So I almost wonder about Joe Barry strategically as a coach. He seems more like a cheerleader than a coach to me. And that's a little concerning as your D coordinator who just motivates guys but doesn't have a good plan. What do you think about all that?
Well, I actually listened to a Chiefs show that's very similar to ours. They're not as good as us, by the way. They're kind of boring.
Well, of course.
They do have one guy who rambles on way too much like me, and then the other guy is like a little bit more like a reporter guy like you. But they're not nearly as good as us, like not at all. But they have way more followers than us. They were doing a live show, and I caught it. And they were talking about how they believe, at least the guy who rambles on and talks so much, he thought, or he believes, get this, that the 3 interior offensive linemen of the Chiefs are so good that they're at an all-pro level as rookies, because they're all rookies. He's saying they're all pros now. Not Pro Bowl. All pro. We're talking Sean Jones. We're talking Sean Jones. All
Honolulu
Jones. But not just Honolulu Jones. Not just Pro Bowl Honolulu. But Pro Bowl Honolulu all pro.
Whoa. all pro.
And they want the
Jones.
Chiefs to run the ball, but they're like, Andy Reid never wants to run the ball, so they're dumb. He's like, well, I don't know why they just don't run the ball every time. Our three interior offensive linemen are so good that they can't stop us.
Humphreys, isn't that one of the centers we passed on to pick Myers instead?
It was the guy that they picked either right before us or right after us. I can't remember when it was.
It was Humphreys. That's the guy they went with, right?
I think it was the pick right after we picked Myers. The Chiefs picked Humphreys.
Really? Damn, somebody's got to fact check me on that.
I'm
check me
almost
on
positive.
I've had too much vodka sour to check that. So check me on that when Humphreys is
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, fine.
The other thing, of course, is Patrick Mahomes likes to run around like a crazy guy, and he runs backwards 20 yards before he throws it. And I don't know if our guys are going to be able to keep up with him, and he's running around like that. But they did a good job with Kyler Murray, so I would just say do the same thing. You know? And the other secret terrible thing that could happen is Kevin King is apparently back in practice, and Joe Barry, they asked him about it, and somebody said, hey, with Douglas playing the way he is, wouldn't it be smart to keep him on the field as much as possible? And Joe Barry's response was not, oh, yes. It was, hey, I always say you can't have too many corners or too many pass rushers. So it's good to have Kevin King back and blah, blah, flop, flop. And it's like, no, it's not good to have him back because he sucks. Play Douglas, play Stokes the way they've been playing. Bring in Janet Sullivan and nickel. Get your two safeties, and then with help from Henry Black every now and again, just stick with that. The release of Jalen Smith.
This is a weird, crazy, right? I mean,
well, it's not crazy. I mean, he was inactive last week, so it's kind of obvious, but
it doesn't cost them much, but still at a position they struggled at so much to pick up a guy that was pretty high profile in terms of years in the league, production, money he's made. Weird, but let me just say this real quick about Joe Barry, Kevin King. I'm going to blame that on COVID. I'm going to blame that on COVID recovery for Joe Barry right there. Hopefully. Because he should clearly see by watching the tape. Versus Douglas should be on the field. Eric Stokes should be on the field before Kevin King. Absolutely. Shannon Sullivan before Kevin King. Absolutely. Come on. There's no debating that
now,
stuff.
Kevin King before Yadam, though, because Yadam sucks.
That's fine.
And before Sean Charles, because Sean Charles can't tackle.
Well, he's only like 155 pounds, too. He's like a tiny little guy.
Sucks. I don't want him out there. I'd rather have Kevin King than those two guys. But I'd rather have Chandon and Stokes and for sure Douglas before King.
All right, you're going somewhere else. Do you remember?
Jordan Love thing? No, I can't remember what I was thinking.
No, I don't care about that anymore. Jordan Love is going to be fine. They just got to run the heck out of the ball. It's going to be all right. Look, Preston Smith. Za'Darius. He's got great energy. He's back in the building. Yeah, we won't talk about that yet.
He's such a breath of fresh air and a positive guy who's getting everybody fired up. All I know is this. If he can channel that energy and be a good leader and help a team out and help the defense out,
we'll take it.
Then let's do it. Because Kenny Clark is not a leader.
Nope.
I'm sorry. He may have been voted captain, but he's not a leader. Agent Amos, not really a leader. He's too quiet, doesn't say anything. Jayu's been hurt all this time. I don't even know who the leader is for that Packers defense right now. I guess it's Campbell. Who doesn't say much either, right? Maybe it's Dean Lowry. He's
Dean Lowry
talking the most and
having his best season ever. Best season ever, right here.
And I listened to Preston's press conference from the other day. It was great. He's awesome.
But yeah, he was a guy that was basically cast aside. They were like ready to get rid of him, but the contract didn't make sense. So they were like, well, we'll keep you around because if we cut you, it costs us almost as much. So we'll keep you on the team and see what you can do.
Yeah.
But he's a good dude.
Things. I mean, and the other thing is Chris Barnes got a really bad grade in the last game.
He should. He's not good.
So that's concerning. It's going to be interesting to see what they do if they spy Mahomes. I don't think they have to spy him as much as what Mahomes likes to do, and Rick will attest to this in a couple games last year against the Raiders.
Oh, yeah. Oh
He'll
boy, that's a
scramble.
touchy subject.
He'll scramble to run, and he'll get first downs. Okay.
All right.
But he's the most dangerous when he scrambles, and then you, as a defender in your zone, vacate your zone and bite on him running forward, and then he passes it right over your head, and it's like a 25, 30-yard gain. The Packers need to be disciplined and not leave their zones. Just like when Rodgers threw the touchdown pass to Devontae Adams a few weeks back, right? That was against the Washington football team, and their big, who's their first round pick again? What's the can't remember his name? Big monster, scary Chase.
Oh, Chase
Daniel.
He
vacated the middle of the field zone, and when he did,
Chase
Rodgers
Young. Sorry,
Chase Young. That's it. And Rodgers found Devontae Adams on fourth down, and Devontae Adams turned around and ran 10 yards for a touchdown. Right, all because Young vacated his zone. If Young would have stayed in his zone, Rodgers probably would have got a first down, but it wouldn't have been a touchdown. And that's the same type of thing that Mahomes does. He moves out of the pocket. He runs back 25 yards. Then he starts running forward. And all the defensive linemen are too slow and fat, and they're behind them, and they can't catch him. And then the linebackers and the safeties bite on him running and start moving forward. And the next thing you know, here you got Travis Kelce sneaking right past them, or McCole Hardman sneaking past him, or Tyreek Hill, or whoever the hell it is. And Mahomes is throwing a 35-yard strike just over their heads because they weren't paying attention to the receiver. They were worried about Mahomes running, and don't worry about that. If he runs, but don't give up the big pass play. Stay in your zone. He'll get impatient and he'll throw you a couple. He's done it this year already. That's the key. Do not bite on his run forward unless you are playing a spy. Then the spy can bite on that because he has no responsibility in a coverage in that particular play. So those are things I would just say. Linebackers, don't bite on it. Don't bite on Mahomes running. Stay back in your zone. Cover the receivers when they come in your play. If he decides to run, then and only then do you move forward. Secondary, he's got a handful. You got super speed with Hill and Hardman are both. Nicole Hardman are super fast. Travis Kelce, everybody still thinks he's the best tight end in the league. I don't see it, but that's fine.
Not the best, but he's tall and effective.
And then apparently, the Chiefs' 3 interior offensive linemen are all pros.
Ooh, Humphreys already. Wow. Well, we'll see if Kenny Clark can handle him, and Dean Lowry eating his Wheaties. Eat the Wheaties, Dean.
That's the other thing. Andy Herman did his grades, and he had Kenny Clark as his third greatest, highest player.
Are your eyes even open? What's happening over there?
Dude, I've been awake for like 40 hours already, okay? Because here's the thing that people don't know. I got up at 4:30 yesterday, went and picked up Olivia, came home, ate, hung around a little bit, tried to take a nap, couldn't sleep, worked all night, came home, did my laundry, played some Magic the Gathering online.
Oh, that was the mistake.
Cut my fingernails and my toenails, took a shower, drove all the way up to the cities, picked up Grant because for some reason he wanted to come home, and he told us on Wednesday. And I'm like, why do you want to come? What? All right, fine. So I drove all the way up there, picked him up, drove through freaking the city's traffic, which sucks. I hate it. Then stopped at the Fantasy Flight Nerd Game store and got some Keyforge decks. And then, because that's the only place you can find them, some certain ones nowadays, because it's the Fantasy Flight Game store. It's their own store. They make the games. They actually had the game there. Anyways, then drove all the way back home. Stopped at the grocery store, got some food because Grant's going to cook dinner tomorrow night. Because I told him, if I'm picking you up, you're going to cook dinner because I'm too lazy, and he's going to cook dinner. So we bought the ingredients for that.
Sounds fair.
Then we ordered Chinese for everybody. Had Chinese. While we were eating Chinese, we watched Tombstone, which is weird because then I watched the Aaron Rodgers interview and he had to say when. Shirt from Tombstone with Val Kilmer.
He likes so many good movies too. It's annoying.
I know, it's really scary. But anyways, so we watched Tombstone. Grant said it sucked, except Val Kilmer was awesome. And I was like, okay, well, I think it's a good movie and Val Kilmer is awesome, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so all this has happened. I have not slept since 4:00 yesterday afternoon. So yes, I don't know if my eyes are open or what's going on. I know I've yawned about 75 times here. I'm barely staying awake.
Only when I talk, though. Only when I talk,
but
you on.
well, that's because when I'm talking, at least I'm trying to stay awake. But what I was getting to is Andy Herman said that Kenny Clark is the third highest rated player from last week, and then he said, he really didn't make any big plays. He really didn't do anything. He had one tackle, but he's just the third highest graded player. I'm like, what? What? How?
Make a play, Kenny Clark.
I don't understand. That makes no sense, Andy Herman. And not only that,
I like Andy Herman, but
I like him too. But him,
except when he
and
challenged,
the Cheesehead TV guys have not taken this Rodgers situation seriously at all.
No, they haven't gone with it.
They have just been like, yo, everybody, I know the situation, but we're not going to really talk about it too much.
Oh,
and then we're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff, which is maybe what Double Doink wants. He wants us to be positive and not dwell on it. But
sorry, man, we got to be legit. We got to be real
about it. But those guys are like, because they know Packer fans don't want to deal with this crap, and I don't want to deal with the crap either, and neither do you. That's why I'm like, can we do a Odell Beckham Jr.? Just tell Rodgers to stay away.
Yeah, I don't want him either.
After he's done with COVID, just stay away, Rodgers. I am praying for Jordan Love to go out there. I don't want him to have like a 400-yard passing game, but like a 250 passing game where he's like 20 out of 26 passing, and then Aaron Jones has got 100 yards rushing, and AJ Dillon's got like 60 yards rushing, and they're efficient, and they only punt like once the whole game or twice, and they have no turnovers. Oh my God, that's a perfect game for Jordan Love. Like 20 out of 25, 20 out of 26, 200 some yards, no turnovers, only one punt. Packers score 30 freaking points or something crazy. He's got like three touchdowns. Aaron Jones got a couple touchdowns, or AJ Dillon or whatever. That's what I'm looking for. If they can do that,
Devontae won't be pleased, but that's fine. We don't care.
You know what else I want to see? What? I want to see Jordan Love not even throw the ball to Devontae the entire game.
Woo! I was going to ask you about that, and I know it's our show, so we can do whatever the hell we want. Does Malik Taylor, because they had such a good connection in the preseason, does Malik Taylor get on the field in this game because they have rapport? I know
Matt LaFleur said that in his press conference on, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but he said, yeah, Jordan Love, I'm confident Jordan Love, but he has not thrown to the guys who's going to be throwing to in this game yet.
Put Malik Taylor's ass in the game. I still don't know why St. Brown or other guys are in there instead of him. Put him on the field. 86.
Well, Winfrey might be better. I don't know. Who knows?
He made a ton of plays this preseason with Jordan Love throwing him the ball. Put Malik Taylor out there. He makes plays. Jordan Love trusts him, knows him. Put him in the game. You want to talk about game planning week by week? Put Malik Taylor on the active roster, on the offense this game. We'll ask for scores here in a second. Bruce jumping in with a score. Okay, we like it. And we're going to jump to fantasy football. You plug your scores in the chat while we look at fantasy football. Hafeman Bros. Fantasy football. That's our one thing. Ben, you had a really sad week in fantasy, but let's get to it here. You know what I'm talking about.
The sad part is I did start Darnell Mooney, and I started Chase Claypool instead. And if I would have started Mooney, I would have won.
All right, let's give a quick look at the Hafeman Bros Fantasy Football. We're already on to week 9. Let's look at the rankings here. We got Hop Around, who beat me last week by the skin of his teeth. 6-2, all in front by himself. Purple Rain, which is the worst, grossest thing. Vikings at number 2. Yuck. Turtleheads, who lost to Mom. Mom got her first win, which was the big thing of fantasy week number 8, which is Mom got her first win. Mama's going to knock you out. Knock Turtleheads out. And Mama won game 1. Turtleheads.
Well, Mom also has the most points against her too, though, which really sucks.
I know. She's gotten a job. Definitely. No doubt. Agents of Chaos, 0 still hanging in there at 5-3, doing well. Playing 0 this week. So 0, I'm taking you down because my team's got to bounce back from spot 8, Jason's Jokers. This is way Bucks in 6, which Nick, I don't even think even checks. But somehow he's 5-3. I don't even know. He's scored less points than points against, but somehow he's 5-3. Don't understand it, but that's Nico for you. And then Ben's Banff Bandits 2-6. What do you have to say about that?
I got screwed by the refs.
Screwed by the refs.
That's the other thing I'm concerned about is, are the officials going to be as kindly to the Packers as they have been with Rodgers as quarterback as they would be with Love as quarterback? I don't know. What if we get a couple phantom holding calls that screw our drives? Or that would really piss me off.
Now with Lucas in there, baby, he'll handle all that stuff. Now, and Rick making his fantasy comeback after 10 years away from fantasy football. He's 2-6 now. He won. He's got a 2-game winning streak. 2-game winning streak for the Cabooters. So Rick, keep rocking out, buddy.
I got a 3-game losing streak.
Mama's gonna knock you out. Won her first game of the season last year. She was really excited about it. Week 9's early results. I'm in a tussle here with 0, trying to get up from 8th place. Turtleheads, who lost to mom, battling first place hop around. Come on, Turtleheads. Knock them down. We like parity in our league for sure. 80% mental, 40% physical. Going against Mama's going to knock you out. You got to lose to Mama because Mama's good. Mama needs another win. And Ben, come on. This is the way. This is the way. Beat me. You got to pay him back and knock him down this week. Come on. Pick up your team. Let's go. Cabooters Rick trying to go for another win here. He's 2-6, trying to get to 3-6 against Bucks and 6, who Nick doesn't even check.
Beat him. Come on, Rick.
He doesn't even check the team. Beat his ass down. And Purple Rain needs to go down just because he's got an ugly ass Viking hat on here. Get him out of here. Come on, Long Tooth Decay. Let's do it. Let's shake up the league. That is Hafeman Bros fantasy football for week 9. 0, you're going down, buddy. You're going down. I got my team straightened out. I got a new kicker in there, which is going to be the difference. Mark my words. My kicker will win the game for me this week.
I'm going to say one thing real quick.
Do it.
That's not a Packer thing, but it's a Raider thing.
Please do it. Oh God.
If you want to see the definition of a true leader and a quarterback who deserves to be the face of a franchise, watch Derek Carr's press conference after the whole Henry Ruggs situation happened. He is a guy who gets it. He's like the opposite of Aaron Rodgers. It's very strange to me. And I've said that in the past where I said I would take Derek Carr any day of the week. I would trade Derek Carr for Aaron Rodgers 1,000,000 times over. And then you can throw Devontae Adams. Wait, there's a child sighting. That was almost like a Sasquatch. Or remember in that movie Signs that scared the crap out of me? Where they're watching TV and all of a sudden the alien shows up on the screen for like 3 seconds. Everybody's like, ah, pause it. What's that?
What are you doing, creature? Stop diving into the woods. Oh, she's finding it as if we don't have 20 blankets in this house. She's coming to get another blanket. What the hell? Oh, it's electrical.
Yes.
Great. A blanket that can start a fire. Let's do that in her house. Great idea. Okay. That's a really interesting point. Now, Rick pointed out, why is the dog down here? Get that dog out of here. Close my door. What the hell is happening in this show? No dogs on the show. Ah, God, trying to finish up. And here we go. All right. Ben's awake at least. Interesting. Rick sent me a text about the Henry Ruggs situation saying, the Hafeman fantasy football curse is strong. Because Henry Ruggs had that crazy situation early in the week. I thought he was talking about the Aaron Rodgers situation. And he was talking about Henry Ruggs. That really sucks. But you can't drive 156 miles an hour no matter where you are, bro. It's going to equal
whether
bad
you're
stuff.
drunk or not, you shouldn't be driving 156 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I mean,
that's dumb.
He's another guy who deserves everything coming to him. It's just
absolutely
bad.
Let's get the scores.
Decision. But
we got scores.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Derek Carr.
Yeah, and Derek Carr, that was awesome. I mean, he's a good dude.
It's a really good interview. It shows you how he really does care about his teammates, present and past. He cares about his team. He's like, I don't know how I'm going to, coach, quarterback a team this week. I'm messed up in the head. And he's like, people need love. Even Henry Ruggs needs love right now, probably more than anybody, because he's feeling terrible after all this and what he did. And
it's horrible,
and
man.
it's just ruined his whole life. And then he also took away someone else's life and ruined that family. So
you're 20 some years old. I mean,
well, not only that, it's just, but anyways, if you just want to see how a professional handles, a true leader handles being the face of a franchise, and then go watch Aaron Rodgers or his interview with Pat McAfee today, and how self-centered Aaron Rodgers is, and how wholly involved with, and how selfless Derek Carr is. It's like night and day.
Yeah, it's.
You got a lot of Packers winning here in the comments, dude.
I'll put the links or videos I really think are insightful in the chat afterwards. Rich Eisen had a great one. Florio had a good one. I know Florio, people say he's been in Rodgers for a while, but look, him and
he hasn't been wrong.
No, he's spot on. So let's talk about the Chiefs Packers though. Let's see. Bruce thinks Packers 27, Chiefs 24. He says Love goes for 245 yards and the touchdown. Jones and Dillon combined for 3 touchdowns. That would be
I'll
nice.
take that, Bruce. I like it.
And look, they had the ball, time of possession last week against the Cardinals. Almost 39 minutes possessing the ball. That is what this Packers team needs to do to get the victory. I understand it means less possessions, fewer possessions, but you protect your defense, you allow them to be charged up when they come in, and you keep the other offense on the sideline, man. It's good news. And if you can keep getting first downs, it's not about getting touchdowns until you get to the red zone. Getting first downs, think first downs, then get the touchdown. Double Doink thinks the Packers roll 31-17. That's a bold prediction. Josh George is in here. He's in first place in the fantasy league, by the way. Congratulations, Josh. I should have beat you last week, but you beat me, so way to go. He thinks Chiefs 24, Packers 13. And he also says fantasy teams 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6 all lost last week. Hafeman mom got her first win. He likes that. So yeah, we're looking for parity, Josh. So come back to the rest of us. Get out of first place there. Let's see. Mom says Packers rally around Love and win 28-14. Dang, 14. They really think the Chiefs are going to be held down in this game. That I'm not sure about because the Chiefs tend to throw for, like, if they get down in a game, they get a lot of garbage stats late because it's Mahomes and they'll just throw it a ton of times. Dad thinks 27-21 Chiefs. So we've got a couple of Chiefs winning. We got a couple of Packers winning, a few Packers winning. Ben, what do you think for this week? What do you really think?
I want to put my faith in
Matt LaFleur.
What I wanted all offseason. And I think the Packers I kind of agree with the double doink. I think they're going to roll right through them.
Ooh.
I think they're going to score, I'll say 35. I think they're going to score touchdowns every time they get in the red zone. Because they're going to just keep running it, and they're going to just do play action and precision passing and good play calling. So 35, and Mahomes is kind of going to be forced to do some stuff he doesn't want to do, and the Packers are going to play smart defense and not do dumb stuff. Play Douglas more and make tackles and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be – and they won't want to – the Chiefs will not go for as many field goals because – they're going to have to score touchdowns because they're going to be behind. So I'll say 35-21.
Wow. That's bold. Even with the Packers running the ball more, I mean, those have to be efficient possessions. So you're confident thinking they're going to keep converting first downs and taking those drives, making them into scores.
I think the Chiefs are going to, because Jordan Love is starting, the Chiefs are going to really heavily try to stop the run. And it's going to lead to some huge passing games or passing plays.
So no Robert Tonyan. No, is MVS back? We don't know.
MVS is practicing.
If
But I think it
MVS
might
is
be
back,
I think DeGuara is going to have a big game. I think
You think
DeGuara,
DeGuara?
MVS, and Lazard are going to be having big games.
and Malik Taylor back on the
If
field.
he plays, yes, because he loves Malik Taylor. But I don't know if he, they
Dude,
say Malik Taylor is supposed to be so fast. He's supposed to be a downfield threat. I don't know. I've never seen him really.
He's not I haven't seen that, but what I've seen is a guy who's got a good center of balance, shifty, runs good, crisp pass patterns. And I think, and Jordan Love showed great chemistry with him in the preseason. So I really wonder if they'll make that adjustment and say, like, okay, St. Brown, sit down this week. Malik Taylor, you're up this week, and we're going to put you in on the offense because we need you, because of our quarterback being different. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to say Packers 28, Chiefs 24 in this game, because I think they're going to control the ball just like they did last week against Arizona. I think Patty Mahomes is going to get restless as long as they play the right defense. And I think as long as Rasul Douglas and Devondre Campbell are on the field and Dean Lowry eats his Wheaties, we're in good shape. So 28-24 Packers.
I am more excited to watch this game than I have been in probably 5 years.
Woo, 5 years. Holy cow. Who was the running back 5 years ago?
Eddie Fatboy Lacy?
No! James Starks. Come on. James Starks, maybe?
Was it James Starks?
Maybe.
Ty Montgomery?
What was the other guy's name they picked up for like half a season? Christine Michael? Remember him for a little bit?
No.
That was after they let Lacey go. Christine Michael was in there. He was like a high
John Crockett.
John Crockett. I wish he would have given him a chance. I liked him out of North Dakota. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. He ran hard. But
he fumbled at one time and then never got in that game again.
Yeah, I know. That was McCarthy's way. Hey, speaking of, quick before we head out and finish up with the Packers, why is everybody so high on the Cowboys? Can you explain it to me? Why is everybody so high on the Cowboys? Just because they want the Cowboys to be good? Or is there some valid reason as to everybody's like, the Cowboys are going to be the Super Bowl? That's what I keep hearing.
Defense attacks, and it's fast, and it messes plays up, and it causes turnovers, and it just does a lot of stuff. And because they have so many dynamic weapons on offense, it makes them scary. And that's why people are behind them. Because if you have the defense and a bunch of crazy weapons, you're going to score a crap ton of points and hold your opponents to hardly any. So that's why everybody's on the Cowboys, dude.
Okay. Well, you think that. I know the real reason is McCarthy magic. So that's how we'll end it for this week. Mike McCarthy, maybe one of the best coaches of all time.
I think I just fell asleep for like a second and a half. Because I was like, sit like this, then all of a sudden I went.
Do you buy my Mike McCarthy magic? Is why everybody loves the Cowboys this year, or is it Kellen Moore? Because some people have said Mike McCarthy's doing a good job of staying out of the way of the other coaches so they can be successful. Do you buy that, or do you think McCarthy is actually leading this team to their 1-loss record so far?
I would take the first one.
Hey, I've been a believer in Mike McCarthy magic all along. He made Dak Prescott a better quarterback. He made Cooper, what's his name, a good quarterback for his first start. That's not coincidence. That's McCarthy magic. And now, as we've learned, McCarthy also made Aaron Rodgers good. Peace out.
Dude, I'm getting the Rick one eye.
Rick, we love you, man. Plus, you're way smarter than Aaron Rodgers. mRNA vaccines. If you want to know more about them, check my face on my YouTube Go Local Wisconsin podcast with the one and only Rick, molecular geneticist, who talks about in simple terms so I can understand what mRNA vaccines are. If Aaron Rodgers had just watched that, maybe he would have took it. I don't know. Anyway, he didn't. He's a dumbass, but smart, but dumb. Packers will win against the Chiefs 28-24. Ben's going to go to sleep. You guys have a good weekend.